Shalom. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakudash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. We want to call this lesson, All Things Are Lawful, but Not All Things Are Expedient. I saw a couple clips, today. I'll tie them into this lesson, and hopefully it'll be edifying. First scripture, Exodus chapter 21, verse 10. If he marries another woman, he must not deprave the first one of her food, her clothing, and her marital rights. The New Living Translation breaks down marital rights as food, clothing, and sexual intimacy, right? Let's go from there. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 15. If a man has two wives, and he loves one, but not the other, and both bear him sons, but the firstborn is the son of the wife he does not love. Okay? Of course, in our law, statutes, and commandments, it's perfectly fine for a man to have more than one woman. What we're going to dive into, more than one wife or several wives. But what we want to dive into in this particular lesson is how it's not expedient. So something we got to understand, brothers, whether we have one wife, multiple wives, or no wife, when you choose to deal with a woman, right, you got to understand that we are under the curses when you engage from the very onset. How do we know? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set her sole of her foot upon the ground for her delicateness and her tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Right now, brothers, we just want to deal with your relationship with the woman, right? You have to understand this, brothers, as we deal with the women of our nation. The curses are on us as a people. So this basically says your wife's eye is going to be evil towards you. She's going to hate you, brothers. And likewise, you her, okay? That's why we all have to be born again, all right? Let's come out of this. Let's go to Micah. Micah chapter 7, verse 5. And it reads, Trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. Just like Deuteronomy just referenced. Who lies in your bosom, brothers? Right? Your wife, your woman, your wives. Okay? Let's come out of this, right? Let me go into the clips I have for you, brothers. Let me go back here, right? Pardon me, brothers. Let me blow this up. Rewind this back. Bear with me 1 second, brothers.
A Fox 59 crime tracker now. An Indianapolis woman is accused of murder. And that's after police say she intentionally drove over a man on the north side. Fox 59's Jesse Wells explains the motive for that violence.
Police believe the death here in this parking lot was domestic related. That's why the domestic violence awareness advocate for the city hopes the case sends an important message to anyone involved in an unhealthy relationship. Just after midnight, police were called to this parking lot outside Tilly's Pub on 82nd Street, where emergency crews found a 26-year-old man dead underneath a car. That victim was identified as Andre Smith, who leaves behind a young child and a grieving family. Court records claim the suspect, 26-year-old Galen Morris, told witnesses she believed Smith was cheating on her with another woman and tracked him to the pub using GPS, where she ran over him 3 times in the parking lot before being arrested for murder.
We don't want to continue to be on the news talking about death when it could have been prevented.
Daniette Smith, the director of Indy's Domestic Violence Prevention Program, says while domestic violence calls to IMPD over the first few months of 2022 have gone down compared to the end of 2021, there has been one noticeable increase.
And we are noticing that there are more calls to IMPD coming from males in reference to, females being the suspect. So we want to make sure that everyone knows that domestic violence doesn't discriminate.
And while Andre Smith's family was too emotional to talk about the death on camera, Daniette reminds everyone that resources and advocates are available to help prevent domestic violence before it turns deadly.
When we see cases like this, we hope to spread the message of getting the resources needed for domestic violence, but also when there's domestic violence in a relationship, to reach out.
Ultimately, it will be up to the prosecutor's office to file formal charges in the case. In the meantime, the suspect remains behind bars without bond at the Marion County Jail. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
All right, Jesse, thank you. Now, earlier this
Yeah, brothers. You see this particular Jake here, he tried to deal with multiple women, at one time. You see what the end was for him, okay? Not that it was unlawful what he was doing, but in this current society, under this rulership, that is just not expedient, and it cost him his life, right? What did Paul say? Let's go back to something Paul said, and I understand it more now. Me being a brother that has a wife, has children, but I completely get it, right? Paul says this in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 7, and it reads, I wish that all of you were as I am. How was Paul? He was single, right? He was all about the mission. I'm sure he had urges. I'm sure he saw women that were beautiful, of course. But each of you has its own gift from Yahweh. One has this gift and another has that, right? Every brother has his own gift. Let's come out of this. Let's go over here, right? And again, the title of the lessons, all things are lawful unto me, right? Meaning all the law, right? We can utilize the entire law. We can exercise the entire law. But guess what? But all things are not expedient. What are we diving into here, this particular lesson? Having multiple women or even dealing with a woman at all, right, brothers? Right? Okay, let's come out of this. Let's look at another example here, right? Let me see. Pull this up, you brothers. Rewind it back. I'm not gonna let the whole video play. I'm gonna just let certain points be made, and then I'm gonna come out of this. Let's get into it.
Jeff, I hope you slept well. How you bring a bitch to my house? How do you bring a bitch to the house that I own that you just fucked me on that mattress yesterday? How did you bring a woman to my house? Ma'am, I don't have nothing against you, but I'm gonna need you to get out of my house right now. And I'm not even being disrespectful or nothing like that, but this is a house that I pay for, that I own. And you just fucked me yesterday on this same mattress, bro. How you fucking a bitch on a mattress? A mattress stuff.
Intuition never lies.
You call me.
I feel like someone.
I knew it. Yeah, this is my house. I'm sorry. This is my Airbnb. Actually,
It seems like it was.
This is my house. It was what?
It didn't seem like it was his house.
He said it was his house. This his house.
Mm-hmm.
This my son in room. This my baby's room. Don't act like you sleep, boy. Get your ass up. I ain't mad, but you gotta go with your short. You gotta get the fuck up. Don't get disrespectful, cause you a.
I'm sure you brothers get the point, but but again, brothers, something I want to bring out is that it's lawful to have more than one woman, brothers, but not in this kingdom. I would not advise it. Okay, we should be in the spirit of Matthew 19 and 29, right? And it reads, everyone who has left houses or brothers or sisters or fathers or mothers or wife or children or fields for my sake will receive 100 times as much and will inherit eternal life. Brothers, because guess what the law says? The law is going to be written in our inward parts. And then we read in Exodus and Deuteronomy also, it is completely lawful that we have more than one woman. We shouldn't be trying to multiply women to ourselves in this current kingdom. And think about it. When we have women in the kingdom, everything's going to be set up in righteousness, right? It's going to be in perfect balance and perfect order, right? Okay? Doesn't the scripture tells us, I'm going to paraphrase here because the exact place doesn't come to me, right? But it says that you who choose to be married in this kingdom, you're going to have trouble in the flesh. Why? Because we're under the curses. Doesn't it say in Apocrypha, it says that a wife who take care of her husband is becomes impudent, and she's full with anger and rage, right? Okay? But brothers, you can't be living like this brother was here, man. You know, you got one wife and you bringing in another broad over the Airbnb that she probably written out to make money for you all, for the team, man. That's low level shit, man. You gotta get beyond that. We gotta be operating in the spirit of Matthew 19 and 29. And even while I'm reading Matthew 19 and 29, I'm thinking of what more else can I do, you know, to inherit the kingdom, right? Okay? Let's come out of this, man. Say if you were one of them brothers. Hold on, I had the scripture pulled up here, man. Where did I go? You know, say if you one of them brothers, and I'll close out with this. They think that, you know, well, I'm just gonna have concubines, but even Abraham had his affairs in order. So let's read what Abraham did, right? Genesis chapter 25, verse 6. But while he was still living, he gave gifts to the sons of his concubines, and sent them away from his son Isaac to the land of the east. Why? Because Abraham, our forefather, right? He had his affairs together. He had money. He had goals. We could read about all the wealth that Abraham had, but still, if you're going to deal with women, you need to have your affairs together. But it's ill-advised in this kingdom, brothers. Our minds should be set on what is above. And hopefully this lesson was edifying, brothers. We shouldn't be multiplying wives unto ourselves. Our minds and our hearts should be set on what is above. Shalom.